Josie Royce, or as most people know me as Josie, and I've been here in Southgate trading for 59 years. Well, I have been in toys 67 years. And I started in the toy trade at Hammerley's in 1951, and then I went as a representative on the road, which was quite unusual for a woman in those days. In fact, there was only 3 of us in the whole of England. So I didn't particularly like it once I was there because it was a man's world. So this shop locally became vacant, and I started looking after it for the person who'd bought it, and he wasn't particularly interested anymore. He bought it for his wife, and she wasn't interested, so he wanted to sell it. So he asked me if I'd come into the shop and perhaps be able to sell it for him. So I went home one night. I said to my mother, I think I quite like that shop. I'm showing all these people around. I think I'll go for it. So she said, yes, sounds good to me. And I did. I raised the money to buy it. As in those days, you could buy businesses. It was quite interesting. There was a very large shop opposite. When I say large, it's spread over 10 shops. It was called Edmonds, and lots of people will remember it as quite a mishmash. It had haberdashery, rug making, underwear, and we were being asked for quite a few things in the shop. We were wondering why, things like felt, etc. And so I went into it and realised there was nobody selling crafts or handicrafts anywhere near Southgate. So I opened up a shop in Burley Gardens selling crafts, and that particular shop also sold ballet, so I went into the ballet as well. We were in next door to where we are on premises now, which were much smaller, and so there was no way we could diversify into crafts. So I opened the shop in Burley Gardens, and when it got too much, because I was running in between the 2 shops and also having to staff it doubly, this shop came vacant next door, and so we went for fancy dress nowadays because they don't have parties anymore, they have theme parties. So hence you'll get somebody want to dress up as somebody or other, or if they come in and they want ideas from us, we try to give them as much idea as we can. It's not just the outfits, we do all the accessories. So, for instance, yesterday there was somebody who wanted to dress up as Sherlock Holmes. We have the hat, the pipe, and the magnifying glass. So you don't have to, spend a lot of money on outfits. The children, of course, are dressing up all the year round, either from school or again from parties. Here we have our original shop. You'll notice it says Rodwin's. Originally the shop was called Windsor's of Enfield, but the gentleman before myself that had the shop rather liked the chrome letters, so he did want to get rid of them. So he turned it round to Rodwin's, which was very clever. Right, this is a picture of when I started, when I was 23. And here we have the cycles that I was selling. And of course, in those days, it was electric trains and plastic kits. This, again, was the windows, which was a lot of work. It used to take me nearly 2 weeks to fill them up. But I loved doing it, and all day and half the night, people were looking in to see all the little pieces that I had built up. This is my late husband. Here we have the Cindy and Barbie dolls. As I said before, that we were big on dolls. Here we have fireworks, standard fireworks that I used to do in the case, etc. Here we have a swing seat. And then when we opened up the shop round the corner, here we have the crafts. Lampshades was one of our top selling things, and why I was interested in crafts was macrame was in those days, macrame kits and beads, etc. In the left-hand corner top here, we have a Jubilee window which I put in 1977, and this is a little bit more of the shop. There's the macrame sets. Here we have the beads. I'm sure many of you have done macrame. Penelope tapestries, which started us off with the tapestries, nicely presented. And this is us actually making the shop mainly into toys, and then we gradually built up with the crafts. Here we have crafts. Saturday Girls, I don't know how many you've actually gone through, but I think it's something like, you could say roughly 40 to 50 Saturday Girls. I'm friendly with quite a few of them still. I believe you did a film about Tom Maish. I did actually know him because I was in the cycle trade for quite a number of years, and also I used to cycle myself, probably Southend and back on a Sunday, which was 48 miles there and 48 miles back. And so I got to know the gentleman reasonably well through the shop. Right. 2 years ago, I was 80, and Osage School were interested because it was their 80th birthday as well. So they very kindly sent me a card, and this is the card. What happened was each class did a page with a flower on it, and each flower is signed by the individual children, which is of every class. So here we have a page for every class in Osage. There's quite a few of them, and brings tears to your eyes. I was at Osage. I was telling a lot of the group that we used to spend half our time down the shelters because the war was on, and every time the air raid siren went, we had to run down the shelters. So they couldn't quite imagine shelters in their beautiful field. So I spoke to them about it.